Okay, this quilt, I've got it ready to do the quilting on. I'm gonna do two different kinds. First of all, I'm going to do some free motion quilting on the pattern. I'll be doing this eagle. I've already done this. This is where I started. It's kind of in the middle of the quilt and I'm working out. Okay. But then on these stripes, I just wanted straight lines down. So for my free motion, there's a couple of different kinds, several different kinds of feet, but they're sometimes called the darning foot or they're called the free motion foot. This one has plastic that you can see. This one is open, so you can see where you're going. See how that's open? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll just put it on here. And then we're gonna lower the feed dogs. You don't have to worry about the stitch length because I'm the one that controls the stitch length. My machine does not have a stitch regulator, and my stitches are not all exactly the same size that they would be if I had a stitch regulator, but that's okay. It's not for the quilt police. Then I'm using quilting needles, and these are sharps. They're not like the standard universals, which is kind of a rounded edge. These are sharp, so that they will go through the three layers that I've got here. Sometimes it's four if there's a seam. So this is what I'm using, quilting needles. And, and then for the stripes, it's too hard for me to make straight lines with the free motion. So I'm gonna use my regular foot. I'm going to put the feed dogs back up so that it is feeding through the thing. And this is called a quilting bar. This little thing that goes into the foot. So you put this in this hole in the foot. Can you see that hole? I gotta loosen the screw. Okay, you put that in for the distance that you want. And what I did was I measured the width of my stripe, mm-hmm. and then I divided that by 4 because I wanted 4, and I knew that these were approximately 4 inches wide. Then I measured here and set it up.
Oh, I see, because that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the white one was just smaller. Okay, got it.
Some of them are
that's
smaller because this extends over.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, and then just tighten up the screw on the back. So I'll show you in a little while how I'm gonna use that one. Okay, feed dogs are down, got the needle on, the foot on. And then I'm gonna put on these gloves that have little rubber bumps on them because that gives me friction as I'm moving the quilt through. So let's get it where's that eagle? There we are. Oh, another thing before we do that. On the back, I put a printed back on it and matched my back thread to the back fabric so that it won't show mistakes.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
So that's the bobbin.
That's in the bobbin. So I've got this brown colored thread that should match my eagle. There's the eagle.
For the top, and then the blue
on
for
the top,
back.
and then I've got the blue on the bobbin.
Okay.
Now, when you start, do not start in a corner, but start someplace where there's a straight line to go. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down and pick up my bobbin thread. Come on, there we go. Put that behind me. That way I won't have a big mess on the back.
Okay.
Okay, put that down, and I'm going to put if you have the needle down position on your sewing machine, it's very helpful because when you stop, if you can stop with your needle down, it stays in place.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to follow the lines on this particular pattern. And try to go even even speed. See what I mean? It's nice to have the needle go down and stay down and hold it in place.
And so you're going to do that around the whole eagle.
I'll do this around the whole eagle. I do change thread colors because when I get over here, I'll want a lighter color thread.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This one seems to be just the right color for these feathers. So that I get these, so that I can get these stripes pretty even, this is what I'm going to follow. The needle's going to go up and down in the same place, but this becomes my guide.
Oh.
So as I use this bar as my guide, the stripes are going to be all the same width.
Oh, that's smart, because then it makes it really even. Okay.
Yeah. And then the next time that I start at the top, I'll follow this line.
Oh, yes.
And as I move across.
And what's that bar called again?
It's called a quilting bar.
Okay.
And most machines come with it.
Oh.
But most people don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's true.
When you're ready. I'm going to show you how to tie off where you start and finish. Particularly if you're putting this quilt into competition, you would want to tie them off instead of back stitching to hold. So you wrap it around your finger and you leave about 1/4 of an inch. Then you get a needle with a big eye that you can put it in, and you've made a little knot. Now, as I push this in through here, you will hear the knot pop as it goes through here. You probably couldn't hear it, but anyway. Then it can't come back out
Because it has the knot.
because it has the knot.
And then you can't see it.
And then you can't see where
And then you don't have a bunch of back stitching,
don't have-
thick back stitching.
So I'm going to do it one more time. Wrap it around your finger. Reach in with the head of the needle probably. Pull it down so it's just a scant 1/4 of an inch. Thread it onto your big eye. And pop it in there. It's in between the batting it's in the batting layers.
Right.
Till you hear that pop. And then you can clip it off, and that secures it.
I love it.
Okay.
So then you're just going to finish all the stripes.
I'm going to finish all the stripes. Oh, and then I'm going to
Free motion all
gonna
of
free
the
motion.
center.
Yeah, going to free motion all the rest of the center. Not sure yet how I'm going to free motion this. Probably go around the heads, maybe figure out. I've got a chalk pencil here where it's really dark, and maybe figure out if there's a table I can draw it in. It looks like there's a table there. Maybe it's there.
You'll try to just kind of match
Anyway,
what's
try
going
to
on.
figure out, or just kind of squiggle stitch. Maybe follow some of the things, go around their heads.
And then what are you doing with the stars?
Then I've already gone around the stars once. I'm going to
Okay.
do this one that I did with the chalk. And then I'm trying to decide whether I want to just echo stitch. Oh, one thing about stitching, you need it to be at least 4 inches, stitching every 4 inches. So this is too big of a space
Okay.
to leave no stitching in. So if I maybe echo the stars a little bit, I don't know. Anyway,
But that's good to know, 4
yeah,
inches.
about your palm print.
Okay.
You don't want it, particularly if you're using a cotton batting, which I am. You don't, and it may get washed at some point in time. Let's say this is an heirloom and it lasts until the 300th anniversary. And it probably would get washed a couple times. You don't want any place that's not stitched within 4 inches because the batting won't hold up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see the finished product someday soon.
So soon.